everyone, and happy Saturday. Welcome to the live stream. If you're watching on the replay, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and drop a comment and let us know what your weekend plans are and what you're up to. I'm trying my new setup on my new desk, and I'm not convinced I have it set up the way I want yet, and I'm also not convinced that it's working right because it's now showing it vertically. And YouTube no longer gives me the option to change the settings to be the way it was. I know. Hey, Amber. I don't know why it's doing this. It's really ticking me off. It used to be when you go to advanced settings, you could change it so it like would your phone would flip, and now it's not letting me do that. Like there's no option for it anymore. So I don't know basically what to do. Like let me just see if I rotate it. No, that's not gonna. Wait, maybe? And I like don't want to restart it because I'm afraid, whoops, okay, this is not working. Okay, I'm already not happy with my new tripod, I can tell you that. Your phone itself showed an option. I know, I thought that too. Let me see here if there's like, highlight your saved reels. It used to be that way, it's different now. It's been so long since I've done a live stream. This is so disappointing. Why is it doing that? Your phone itself should have an option to flip the screen. Yeah, I unlocked my like flip thing. Hey Lisa, hey Sane, thanks y'all for coming. I'm using my phone. This is okay. So we're just gonna have an. I need to play around with this, but we're just gonna do a sideways experience today. All I planned to do really on this live stream was I want to say hi to everyone and be able to test my stuff, and I wanted to maybe do a little bit of watercoloring in my traveler's notebook, so that's what we're gonna do. Katrina here is here from Paper Pens and Coffee. Hello, Katrina. Happy Saturday evening. I'm glad we've got a good number of people here tonight. So let me know how your new year is going in the chat. Let me know what you're up to this weekend. I just put some things in my little Toyo box that I'm gonna be using. I just threw them in there, and I'm kind of using this as like what I work out of now so I don't get overwhelmed. And I have my little watercolor palette. So Amber's getting ready to get hit with a snow and ice storm in the Midwest. Yes, okay, Amber. I drove to Dayton, Ohio on Thursday night and came back last night, and like a polar vortex was coming in or whatever. And I just wanted to get back to Tennessee before the snow hit. Apparently, they're supposed to get like 10 inches of snow tomorrow or something. I don't know. And I was just like, yeah, I need to get out of here. So hopefully, you have everything you need and you're okay. I guess for you all, it's like people are used to the snow. Here in Tennessee, when it snows, like even the slightest bit, it's like no one knows how to drive, no one knows how to be a normal person, and it's just really annoying. But I think when you're living somewhere where there's more snow, it's like more normal. So I'm just opening up to a blank watercolor page. Well, it's actually, I don't think this is the watercolor paper. This is the Traveler's Notebook, like sketch paper. I think it's sketch. Actually, did I save the, yes, this is the, I guess I could turn it this way. This is the refill sketch paper, but I use it for watercolors and it works just fine. There is a watercolor paper, I thought, right? Or am I just making that up? It's much thicker than this. Are you gonna get a desk setup video? Yes, that is a great question. It pretty much is fully set up now. Actually, the last thing I needed, oh, well, there's a couple other things I ordered, but they're not here yet, but it's basically set up. The only issue is now I'm upset that my tripod setup is not working right on the YouTube live stream, but we can fix that. That's like an easy fix, right? We'll figure that out. But now it's just like kind of ticking me off. Anyway, I even got my new like docking station set up because I work from home on some days, so I wanted to make sure I had like a monitor riser put up and all that stuff just to make working from home easier. So this is actually going to serve, this desk, which is a giant dining room table, is now going to serve as my work from home office and my stationery and journaling center. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that meshes, but I have the setup so it's possible, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, Lisa did laundry and some studying. What are you studying, Lisa? Let us know. And laundry is always a necessary thing. Also, it feels like laundry and dishes are just, they never end. They're always there. Um, okay, and then Amber said you're in St. Louis, Missouri, so you're right in the middle of it. Okay, hopefully, fingers crossed, have your candles ready, fill your bathtub up with water. Is that what you do in tornadoes? I can't remember. um, and then Katrina says, snow is missing us, thank goodness. You have freezing cold, -6. I oddly like the cold because I lived in Russia before I moved to DC, before I moved to Tennessee. And after being in Ohio for less than 48 hours, I'm kind of like, because ironically, funny story, I turned down my job offer from a university in Ohio, not far from where I was the last 2 days, and chose the one in Tennessee. And like, I completely regret it. Like, I wish I chose the school in Ohio because I don't like the school here at all. I'm very disappointed in it. But now I'm like, I don't know if I could do those Ohio winters for 5 years. So in that case, I'm pretty sure I made the right decision. Evie the cat is here, bro. What is with the internet? I'm just trying to find live streams. I can't tell you what's with the internet. You got to talk to Elon Musk and all those crazy right-wing tech people who are just absolutely bonkers. I don't control that, unfortunately. Oh my God, Lisa's taking the California bar exam in July. Good for you. I hope, fingers crossed for Lisa. Everyone send good Lisa good vibes. I could be wrong, but isn't like the California one of the hardest ones to take? Or is that New York? Can't remember. So I was just planning on drawing my little cat and trying to paint him a little bit just to get some practice. I feel so out of practice with live streams. I'm sorry. You're in California and everyone's wearing the big puffer jackets in 60-degree weather, myself included. In all fairness, people in DC were like that too. I always thought it was so weird that DC is the same, where people freak out when it snows. They dress completely like the moment it goes below 70, I will literally see people having like fur gloves on. And it's just odd to me. I think it's because a lot of people in DC are transient, so they're from maybe the West or the South. Because I'm like, it's DC. Like, y'all are in the Northeast. You get hurricanes and you get snowstorms too. So like, it's not surprising. But 32 degrees and you have a hoodie on. 60s is a heat wave. Amen. I love mild weather. I don't want to live somewhere as extreme. People are always surprised when I tell them that the summers in Tennessee are way better than the summers in DC because like the humidity is not as rough. But I've only been here. Have I lived here for one summer? This is my second summer, but I still would rather be here than in DC in the summers. So I don't know, I guess. Okay, for the record, I'm drinking tea. And this is the Tazo Organic Awake English Breakfast. This is like my favorite, just plain black tea. And on Black Friday, I was able to order a deal from Amazon where I got like 100 something tea bags for a really inexpensive price. So I've been drinking it a lot. And since we also talk about what we've read on the live streams, I had to give up reading this. I only got halfway through. This is Terrace Story by Hilary Leichter. I didn't realize it. It's kind of like a collection of short stories. I was hoping for a novel. I bought this when I was in the airport in Tucson on my way to the conference. And it was the one chapter that I did read was really awesome, or short story. It's basically about people's lives when a terrace like suddenly appears in their apartment building, like how their lives change by having a terrace. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but the one story I read was really cool. But I couldn't do it anymore. And instead of trying to push through and read something I'm not enjoying anymore, my 2025 thing is to put it to the side and pick something else because life's too short to not read things that you're not really getting into. So yes, Tennessee weather is definitely better. Amber caught a holiday gift set of teas after Christmas with 50 specialty teas for $2 and they weren't Christmas savers. Wow, $2. Geez, that's like cheaper than like Aldi tea now. When I was at Sam's Club the other day, I saw they had like a Christmas clearance section in like the foods and gift sections and they had like gift baskets and stuff. But I'm sorry, none of that stuff was really even clearance. It was like $5 off and it was still 40 bucks. I'm like, dude, that is not clearance. For me, clearance needs to be like truly 50 to 75% off at a minimum. You were at Aldi. Well, I used to buy the black Aldi tea bags, like this one. Um, but I swear they changed them in like the past 2 or 3 years. I used to buy them religiously and suddenly they don't taste the same anymore. So, um, I decided only buy what I actually want to use. And yeah, so that's what's up with me. Technically, I have like another week off before the university starts up again, but I'll be working my other job for the government, so that's fun. But yeah, how's everyone's planner situation going for 2025? Because mine has been non-existent. I posted a pen test on my Instagram, and I've done nothing else since because honestly, I've just been so busy. I had international family visiting over the New Year holiday and Christmas, so like I've really not had much time to do anything. Um, so like here's part of the pen test. Surprisingly, this Let's of London paper, even though it looks really horrible, like there's like no bleed through. I was kind of impressed by it. Where the Moleskine, y'all, we don't even do we have to even say how horrible this paper is? I'm sorry, let's see, what comments am I missing? And then draw it, please. Nugget, what did you want me to draw? Let me scroll up and see if you commented early. Draw what? The T? This is, I mean, the fact that a highlighter really just, it couldn't take highlighter. I should have known, but I was excited to try. I'm still excited to use this. Linda from Tortajala, she suggested that I kind of use this as like a you can mess it up planner notebook because the pages aren't that great. So I think that helps me kind of think about, oh yeah, this can just be like a super messy notebook kind of situations, work things out with it. Funny Ugly Monster Bugler. Yeah, that kind of maybe it didn't like make it through the whatchamacallit, censors or whatever. Amber loves all your friends and family know I love planners, so they're sending me videos and pictures. That's so cool. Videos and pictures of their planners for 2025. Have you gotten any like videos or pictures that kind of like surprised you or and maybe inspired you? I mean, I'm always curious to see what other people are using, like obviously. Moleskine paper is not very good, best to use ballpoint. I agree, and I think, let me see if I can reach it. I'll probably use my like Stedler ballpoint pens. These are just typical like German ballpoint pens. This is probably what I'll use my Moleskine because it doesn't scratch the paper either. But yeah, has anyone noticed any planner sales for 2025 yet? Because I've already decided like I'm gonna hit up a sale at some point this month. I'm just not sure what's out there yet. Oh, let me do an update on from Barnes & Noble, in case you have a Barnes & Noble near you. This is the Paper Source Journal, Build Your Own Journal set. Actually, when I was in Ohio, I actually did like some long form journaling and various things. And I've been using, let's see if I can show a page that's not really embarrassing, because this was kind of embarrassing. Okay, this page is less embarrassing. But I'm using my Zebra Surari pen from Tokyo Pen Shop, but I hack it and I swap out a 1.0 ballpoint emulsion hybrid ink, whatever they're called, and it writes so smoothly. I'm going to demonstrate it for you because I can't believe how smooth this writes. The best way to describe it is it gives the feeling of a fountain pen in a ballpoint pen. And I feel like I can, now that I'm saying it out loud, I could make a whole dang video about this, but that's what it feels like. So if I, like, I'm barely pressing down on the paper, right? I'm barely pressing down. It's a heavy metal pen. If I, whoops, I'm writing in Russian. Okay, sorry. Okay. How do I write a B in English? Okay. Like I'm barely pressing and it just glides across the paper. Like there's no, I press hard and there's almost no pressure for my hand when I'm writing on this, and it's just so comfortable. So I've been using this for like my long form journaling in this, and it even, the clip part fits in the pen loop. So I just go like this and that's it. That's what I've been using over the past, what is it, 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, and it's very satisfying. So yeah, that's an update on that. If you have a Barnes & Noble that has a paper source inside of it, maybe you have a holiday gift card or something, I highly recommend checking it out if you can. Okay, enable alert. Okay, hold on. Amber said people you didn't know use planners. One friend got one from Target, never seen. Looks sturdy and pretty. Interesting that that could also be a whole topic of conversation, like the unknown planning people. You moved back into standard TN this year and TC inserts. I'm loving it. Okay, love that. Did you get a monthly or weekly for 2025? Okay, we're all kind of back in our TN era, and I love that. Did anyone get any of the road trip stuff? I absolutely did not, but I love watching other people's videos of those who did. Amber is using a happy planner. You haven't used one in years. You couldn't resist the Nightmare Before Christmas one. Also using a TN, then actually a follower of Greg sent me last year. That's awesome. What do you have in your TN as a setup? Also, Amber, I think you haven't made videos in a while, right? So we would love to see, like, I know you're probably busy, but if you ever could upload another video, we'd love to, like, hear what's going on. Yes, I love that. Okay. I was doing a lot of reflection. So when I set up my new desk, I actually threw out a bunch of stuff or like reorganized things, whatever. And I found my old Erin Condren planner from 2023 or 2022. And I looked back at it and I was like, wow, I actually use this very functionally as a day-to-day checklist kind of planner. And that's back when I was working for the government, and then I worked at the college in the evenings, and I would drive to work at the college after being at the government all day. And I literally like used it to like scratch off things off my to-do list. And it also helped me get through my PhD applications, all that stuff I had to go through, and then the research study I was conducting to get my master's degree. And I was like, huh, should I order like an Erin Condren planner? um, but I don't know. I think I was just trying to talk myself out of like the nostalgia of it. I think looking back at your stuff, like you feel nostalgia and you're like, well, if it was that great, I would have continued to use it or something. So something must have happened, and I'm just somehow forgetting that piece of the puzzle that happened. Okay, you love the road trip brass clip. That one is all brass, right? Like it doesn't have any black writing in it. Like here's the, I don't know what this one's called, just like the regular Travelers Company one. Oh yeah, I think the brass clips, even though like they're pricey, this is an item I use like all the time. And ironically, I watched a lot of people's videos of like their best of 2024 stationery, and I really wanted to make something similar. I just haven't gotten around to it. And at this point, it's 2025, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it. But I thought about making a video of like stuff that I've been using nonstop for years and years. And I feel like the brass clip is something, this had to have been what, 2016 that I got it? So it's been almost 9 years now that I've used this no matter what I'm doing. That would definitely be on my like worth it stationery purchase video or whatever you want to call it. Yes, they are super strong. I mean, I love my plastic clampies. These are inexpensive. These are about $5, so they're really useful, especially because they have a wider base for where they clamp on. But this really does hold down like anything, the brass of it. Okay, so you started following me in 2020. So yeah, I've definitely had it for a long time. It's one of those things. Great purchase. You like the road trip theme. I know I like the road trip theme, but I just didn't do it this year. I didn't even get any Travelers. Oh, I did get the one folder because it had a cat on it for 2025. That's the only reason I got it. But I just didn't get anything else. So okay, Amber has a monthly and weekly that is similar to Hobonichi Week setup. You haven't done one in a while because I don't have room for video setup. I feel you completely. You do plan to get, yay, okay, we're looking forward to whenever you do go back into it. I purchased the tripod that has a ring light. I'm using on it now. I purchased it over Christmas from Amazon, thinking it would work out well, and it kind of is, except the YouTube part, but it has a much sturdier base, so it's actually on, this is the base, like right here to the bottom, and it's not shaking, which was a big problem with my old tripod because it's like a weighted base and it has like felt on the bottom. I don't know how to explain it. So it doesn't shake. That's basically what I wanted to say, is that it doesn't shake. And then having the ring light is pretty awesome, but yeah, we're still working on it. Honestly, a video setup is like the hardest thing to have in my opinion. It was the thing that made me not have a stationery channel for years. Like I was just never like able to figure out how the heck do you set up a camera like that or a phone and make, like, I just could never figure it out. So for all y'all have really nice setups and you use them regularly and y'all produce good content and stuff like that, more power to you, because some of us really struggle with that, including myself. Yeah. So what's everyone else? Is anyone watching any series, movies, or reading a book right now that they would like to share? Because that's another thing we like to talk about. I'm just going to start drawing my little cat, but what should he be holding? I am like wildly out of practice. Like disturbingly out of practice. I actually am looking forward to all the holidays and stuff being over. My semester is going to be easier, knock on wood, this semester, because I have 2 days a week where I don't have to go to campus, and that's just automatically so much easier. Okay, let's draw him holding a book. I did finish reading Britney Spears' memoirs. I think it's called The Woman in Me. It's an easy read. You could probably read it in a day or two, but it was so good. Of course, it was sad and hard to read at certain points, but it definitely makes you respect her more and makes you hate the American culture towards women and the media culture towards women as well. So that might get you riled up, maybe in a good way, but I enjoyed it. Then maybe I'll just put like Happy New Year. I'm using my Sakura Pigma, Micron PN, which is probably my now like only pen that, like, only drawing pen that I absolutely love. I still love the Tombow one, but I love the plastic nib on this. For me, it just worked really well. Okay, English teacher was excellent. The humor in it, of course I watched the whole thing because I'm an English professor, and it was excellent, 100%. I wish there was more. If you haven't already watched AP Bio on Netflix, I highly recommend AP Bio because it's kind of like English teacher, just a little bit different. It's still that raunchiness. It's really good humor. It has Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which he kind of plays the same character. He's kind of like a jerk in it, but it's really good. I do have an Instagram for my stationery. It's the same as my YouTube. It's stationery.shenanigans on Instagram. I'm not posting as much as I should be on there, but that's another 2025 goal. Microns. Oh, you got the multiple color pack? What colors are included? I think I've only noticed, have I seen them in brown? I'm not sure if they have them in brown or I just maybe made that up. Oh, that was a weird N that I drew because in my head it was like a Russian N. I watched Brooklyn today, a movie with Saoirse, what's her name? Saoirse Ronan. It was really good. Okay. And I'm just gonna draw his face. And I already messed it up. Okay, this is like a close-up of his face. And he's sticking his tongue out. Maybe it'll be crazy, like detail his ears. This is just practice. We're not doing anything specific. We're just having a live stream and we're just practicing and talking. Which, if you're watching and you haven't joined in the chat, please do. Everyone is very friendly. Let us know what you're up to this weekend. You saw a couple of episodes of Squid Game too. It's like a car crash. Okay, I could never get into Squid Games. I know it was a big thing, but I think when I saw the preview of it, like the very first one, I was like, ooh, I can't do that. I'll be too on edge. There's a lot of stuff I can't watch because it like makes me too nervous. Which I know is just crazy, but yeah. So I had a winter break bucket list. I do want to make a 2025 stationery bucket list, which I don't know what's going to be on it, to be honest. I wanted to get better at watercolor, and I wanted to really ramp up the content on my channel and try to do things more regularly, which I think is going to happen. I'm just not deciding which night of the week to do it yet. I think I'm going to go back to doing weekly lives, y'all. It's probably going to happen. Because my semester schedule is not as horrible as the previous semester. So, okay, they're off-brand actually, but they work the same way, right? Like, are any of them a plastic nib? I think this is what the selling point for me is. The plastic nib doesn't have the metal part surrounding the tip. And sometimes I feel like the metal part, the pressure that the metal puts on the actual ink tip makes you feel like I'm trying too hard when I'm drawing. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's something about the plastic tip where it feels less intimidating, invasive. Maybe that's the word, invasive. I'm not sure. Yes, nice on that type of nib. You've not seen, yeah, and so I think even on a live stream, I didn't know that's what it was a plastic nib. So it says PN on top. Now, if you look at the other microns, it'll be like a traditional metal tip with the marker part coming out, and it'll have like the 0.03, the 0.5, whatever. But the PN one specifically is for the plastic nib, which, again, is my go-to. Highly recommend the plastic nib. This is the Pentel water brush. This is my Travelers Company watercolor palette thingy. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get a little paper towel here. And yeah. I think I just do a little bit of blue for him. I've also talked about how I hate using watercolor brushes, or what's this called? Water brushes? Because I feel like I can't control it as good, but the fact that I was able to paint on the go back last month when I went to like an apple orchard kind of place situation made me feel like, oh, I should just get over it and try to just practice with it more so I feel more confident. Because it's so easy to be able to clean it from itself, just using like, all you need is like a paper towel and have this filled up with water. So, moral of the story, sometimes you just have to be like, you know what? I'm gonna stop telling myself something and just do it. Just suck it up and do it. And if that's not the vibe for 2025, I don't know what it is. Just do it. What else? What else everyone up to? Okay, I already painted outside the line, so that's great. Oops. Is anyone, I think, Katrina, are you going to the Stationery Fest in Chicago in March? I can't remember. I think you're going, right? Is anyone else going to that? I would have loved to go to that, but it's either the weekend before or after a conference I'm supposed to go to in Philly. And I really want to go to that conference because my family lives there, so it would serve as like a dual trip where I would go do something for work and get to visit my friends and family. So I can't do Chicago and Philly. It would just be too much. Water barrel brushes like this. I think this one is like a smaller one. You can get all different kinds. This is the one that actually came with my art toolkit and traveler's notebook watercolor palettes. Sometimes I just get too intimidated by stuff. And you just like squeeze out and a little water will come out. But if anyone else is watching this and you feel like, you have issues controlling it too and you have any tips, please do let me know. Maybe it is more of a psychological thing that's holding me back than an actual physical thing. Cool. So we're just doing a little bit of watercolor. And I will say it dries pretty quickly. This traveler's notebook paper dries pretty quickly, feels sturdy. Yeah. Also, another thing is sometimes I try to watch instructional videos on YouTube, and this might be a shocker to some of you, but it might not be. A lot of people who claim to be good at being instructional are horrible. I don't know if it's because I'm overthinking it or I'm just because I'm also a teacher. So like I think about how to engage someone. And I talked about this before, but I did one of those illustration classes online from Domestika, which is with a K. So it's Domestika. And I did that before I moved to Tennessee. And I was really excited. It was kind of like illustrate your everyday life. It was basically like how to use art methods in like a traveler's notebook situation, like where you're doodling things from your day as like a diary, right? And I paid for this class and it wasn't expensive. It was like $15 or something with the coupon code. It was like an online tutorial that you got to access and like watch videos, and you could chat with the person who was teaching it if you needed to have questions and stuff like that. It was like asynchronous, right? It wasn't a live class. And she did not explain anything. She talked about the supplies she bought, and I went out and bought the exact specific supplies she had, like the colors she was using and all that stuff, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to follow along and do the way she's doing it so I can learn some things. She didn't explain anything. She literally would just be like, okay, now take it and color it in. Or like, now draw all this. But there was no like how to actually do the drawing or the blending or the layering. It was just like, look what I did. Now do it for you. And I'm like, girl, that's not how this. You're not a teacher. I was just so disappointed. So I'll never watch anything else by that woman. She's a Dutch illustrator, a woman. Um, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you're marketing this as like an instructional class, and she doesn't give you any instructions. She literally would just like, okay, now I'm gonna draw some books and a coffee mug. And she would just like draw them and be like, there, look, now you draw it too. And I was like, you could give a little bit of information, like do this first, layer the background with water on your watercolor paper first. She did none of that. Did you, wait, she was like I don't know if she was redheaded, maybe she was strawberry blonde. She had glasses. She drew kind of like funky, like coffee mugs and cats and houseplants and stuff like that. And she was like, okay, this is how you draw a person. And she just like drew someone. I was like, okay, now you try. And I'm like, that's not how you instruct people. So I was turned off by that whole website. It was because at first I was excited. I was like, okay, if this works out, I'm gonna start like really, because 10, $15 here or there is worth it to spend if you're gonna get something out of it, right? And I was not getting anything out of it, and I was just like, okay, not going back to that lady. But I don't know, maybe there are some better instructional videos and I should give them a chance, but again, I was just not impressed. Yes, okay, she's famous. I forget what her name is, but she illustrates like children's books and stuff. It was just her in her studio with the camera on her being like, okay, now draw something. And it was like a few hours long. I'm like, but she didn't explain anything. It just ticked me off so much. Yes, you've probably seen ads of her too. Like she's always in those Instagram ads where it's like she's talking to the camera and she's like, let's learn how to draw your day. And then like the camera pivots to looking at her sketchbook and she's like, let's draw our day together. And then she doesn't actually teach you anything. So she is off my list. And once you're off my list, it's really hard. Well, you actually can't get back on my list. That's the kind of person I am. Like, nope, never again. So yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing regular live streams because looking back, I remember I used to do them. Did we do them every Friday night or was it Saturday night? I feel like it was Friday nights. And I was pretty regular with them and I really like because I hated my job and I hated where I lived. So I looked forward all week to like doing a live stream. um that was also during like pandemic stuff and a lot of stuff was closed. So it was a nice kind of like outlets type thing. Yep, so my drawings and watercoloring is ugly, but I want it to be ugly because this is just practice and I'm not going for the aesthetic. My aesthetic is just like messy slash I'm gonna change a lot. I wish I could have an aesthetic, especially on YouTube and Instagram and the stationery world where so many people everything's aesthetic and it just doesn't seem like it's possible for me. I wish there was more messy people who like showed how they got there instead of it just being like, oh, here's my final product, y'all. You do architectural design courses on Domestika. Most of them go over, okay, like, yeah, foundational drawing skills. They should be able to explain to you why you're putting that line on the paper, or they should be able to explain to you like perspective or form, like shadowing, all that kind of stuff. But for an illustrator instructor, she just like draw a house. It's like, okay, well, thanks. That was not really helpful. I think I follow one or two watercolor artists on YouTube, probably one from Katrina's channel, or I can't remember, forget her name, but she's always nice when she talks and explains things, and that's what I appreciate. Maybe you can start the trend messy, as I said on my video. Yes, you always say messy hands, happy life. That's your like slogan. I kind of want to approach the messy thing specifically for planners and travelers notebooks too, because I feel like I don't understand how some of y'all plan, but then like it looks like every time you wrote in your planner, it was like done in perfect lighting at a table and you took your time. Like, where are the people that when they're out on the subway or when they're at a work meeting, they're like jotting things down in their planner on the fly? Like, I need to see more people doing that and less like this is my beautiful planning spread that doesn't have a single thing messed up on it. Because to me, like, that's just not possible. Yes, hashtag messy planner. Let's start that. Maybe I'll make that as like a video. um, so yeah, when I clean the watercolor brush, I just squeeze the water to like, and then dab the paper towel, and it just kind of cleans the nib or brush. Okay, now I'm thinking I'll take a fountain pen brain. Okay, speaking of, I've really been wanting to clean one of my fountain pens to start using it again, and I always forget. I know I've talked about it before, I'm horrible with keeping up with fountain pens and cleaning them, and like when I get inspired and I do want to go use a fountain pen, and it's dirty and needs to soak, and I just didn't plan ahead. I'm like, ugh, I always do that where I let things dry out and I just like mess it up. You get better with that. Messy planner, yes. Does anyone go to like PlannerCon or like all those like planner type things? Um, I'm excited for those of you who do get to go to Chicago. I'm sure that'll be cool. Um, maybe like I'll just plan on going next year and then I can like plan ahead of time. Um, Also this is my last semester of having to take courses to get my PhD, so I think my life will be a little bit less chaotic maybe. The problem is now is that I teach and work in the writing center and take classes for my PhD and work my other job. And it just is a lot. I can't, you're gonna have to do like a whole vlog, Katrina, or something. You're gonna have to do like a recap video, or like, I don't know if you'll be able to go live anytime when you're there, because it'll just be so exciting. Or maybe you can just record stuff and then like make it like a recap or take you along with me video. That way we can all live vicariously through you. I don't know if I would have been able to go to, what was the one at Yoseka this year? What was that called? Did anyone else go to that in August? I think I would have been way too overwhelmed. The humidity in New York alone at that time of year would have just like turned me off. Mon's here from Monica the Journaler. Hello, I guess where you are, is it Sunday? It's Saturday night here. I'm glad you're able to join us, and I hope you're having a good 2025 so far. Yes, we're looking forward to your video. But don't, don't stress yourself out or have to spend extra, time or energy. Any clips that you share with us, we'll be excited to watch. It's like we'll be there with you. I don't know if you got the VIP package or whatever they have. I saw that there's like a VIP package, which is sold out. Honestly, when I looked at the difference between the VIP package and the regular one, it really did seem worth it. But I guess they only sell a certain amount of them. So maybe next year I'll plan on going and I'll do the VIP package. Yeah, I have a feeling that like, just from whose video did I watch for the Yoseka one? Oh, I think it was Omoi. They did like a vlog when they drove up to the one in Brooklyn, and the line was like around the block. And let me tell you one thing about me: I do not like lines. I don't care where I'm at or what it's for. They stress me out, and ain't no croissant or concert ticket is worth a line for me at this stage of my life. Maybe before, back when I was finishing up college, and we did go to the Price is Right. We had to camp out the night before. That was exciting because I was 22. Sure, why not? But now, absolutely not. I couldn't do it. Yeah, $50 is pretty good. Amon just woke up. Well, here's what I don't understand, Katrina. It's like they sell tickets for a certain number of people, so why do you still have crowds? Like, I think a lot of these places claim they sell X number of tickets thinking certain people aren't going to show up or they're all going to show up at different times. No, not Stationery Fanatics. We will show up on time, if not early. And we will spend our entire amount of time doing those things. Like, why do they just not plan better? I feel like. Or maybe that's just me, like, not, that's just how I think, I guess. Yes, it'd be cool if you could do a meetup with Instagram. Yes, that would be so cool. I wonder if they're gonna have like like a specific hashtag or like tag that you can use so other people who are using social media who are at the festival can find you, if that makes sense. The conference I was at in Arizona had one, and I posted stuff on Twitter and I had some views, but like no one ever messaged me. I was like, okay, fine, I get it. I don't want you in my club. Like they did the caravan in Washington State, yes. Um, yeah, even when stuff's time stamped, I feel like they just don't always honor that, and that ticks me off. That's just one of those things that I don't like. I wish the caravan would come to where, frankly though, where I live, I don't think really anything's gonna come here, except I do plan on going to Nashville soon on one Saturday because the gentleman stationer, which I actually have one of his stickers here, he's opened up a brick and mortar store in suburban Nashville which is about 2 hours from me. So I am looking forward to making a trip to his store. Um, which I don't know when that's going to be specifically. I'm kind of hoping I could do like a live stream there, maybe like set something up with him, but we shall see. I can't remember. I think he still has like a soft opening. I don't know if it's like fully up and running and like it's only certain days of the week and stuff like that. Katrina has a personal stamp that you just got made up, which you're gonna bring. That is okay. That is a brilliant idea to make your own stamp. It's almost like a business card that you would give out to people to like so they could remember you. Instead, you just have a stamp. That is so cool. That's awesome. That is a genius thing for 2025. We love genius ideas. Sorry if I missed anyone's comments. I don't know if I did. If I missed it, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to multitask. And I'm out of practice. I can't believe we used to do this. Wasn't there one time we did a live stream that was like 4 hours long? Does anyone remember that? I think Amber, you might have been there, or like maybe Katrina, you were there, but there was one time where I think we went for like 4 hours. And I don't remember what we were doing to make it last 4 hours, and we might have just been talking. But that was fun. Those were the days. Let's get back to those days. That's what I want more of in 2025. Okay. How long have we been going here? I can't tell. 46 minutes. Okay, my goal was at least to do 45 minutes. I feel like we've met our goal. Yes, Katrina, you definitely should, if you can make a specific video about it eventually, or like share that idea, that would be a really cool thing. Cause like I wouldn't know how to make my own stamp. I guess there's ways you can like design it and then like order it from someplace, or did you make it yourself from like a Cricut? That's another thing I wish I could understand. Like that my brain cannot wrap around a Cricut, none of those things. And I can't try yet. But yeah, I definitely want to do more in 2025. I really want to amp it up. My semester schedule last semester was just horrible, and the semester before was really rough. And I'm just looking forward to hopefully having things a little bit less chaotic. Just not having to drive to campus and pack my lunch and walk a mile from the parking back and forth, all the different buildings I have to go to, just not having to do that for 2 days a week is already a huge improvement in life. So those 2 days I can like stay in my apartment and not have to pack up my laptop and all those things and like carry them all around because I'm schlepping all around that campus, and it is a hilly, spread out campus. And sometimes, well, anytime I'm there, I usually get at least 10,000 steps just from the nature of having to go from like building to building. It's kind of wild. And there's no rhyme or reason to how they schedule things. My desk is 0.7 miles away from where my department is. So like I can't just like run back to my desk. I have to literally walk to the other end of campus, and then sometimes I have to come back to where my department is for like a meeting or something. And so it's just lots of walking and walking amongst 40,000 students too. So it's just even more. Whew, yeah. But we're gonna make the best of it for 2025. I'm not happy with this department. I wish I picked a different university, but it's too late for that. So we're just gonna make what we can out of it. And by the way, I'm not the only one who feels that way. Other new people here also wish they didn't pick this school. So I am not alone in that, which is oddly comforting, knowing that it's not just me. You just kept working on stuff in chat. I know, that was wild. Like, what were we doing? Okay, you designed it with Kelly Bang. She's a friend of mine who is a graphic designer. So it was like drawing one of my girls and her lettering. Okay, that's awesome. It's good that you're able to work with someone who kind of like knowledgeable about it and could like help you along. That's so cool. All right, well, I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's 8:20 here, and Yeah, so thanks for everyone who joined. Let's try to do it regularly. Um, I'm not sure of which night I want to do it yet. I was leaning, so Mondays are going to be my worst day. I literally will be on campus from like 7 to 7. I'll have 12-hour days on Mondays. I thought about doing them Sunday night, but I'm thinking, okay, that's probably a bad idea. So I might try to do something either Wednesday nights or Thursday nights. Or I might change the night every week. But my goal is to like at least have something regularly every week. Maybe I'll try to do a live on Instagram. I'm not sure, but yeah, let's keep up the energy for 2025. Yes, good night. I hope everyone is doing okay. Please take care of yourself if you're in a snowstorm. If you're sick, all those things, please take care of yourself. And I will see you all next time. Happy New Year.